Today's new review is on Disney's new movie Raya and the Last Dragon. Long ago, humans and dragons lived together peacefully in a town called Kumandra, but then a mysterious dust-formed monster came and turned people into stone, and that was called the Droon. Then the dragons decided, let's put our powers together and sacrifice ourselves so humanity can live on forever. As that happened, 500 years later, the cities began to break apart and completely distance themselves from each other as became greedy over the power that the gem had before them. When the town comes together to have a dinner, the gem is broken, leading to the Droon coming back and wreaking havoc on the towns again. The warrior Raya then has to collect all the gem pieces that were broken before and bring back the dragon Sisu to eradicate the Droon. I have to say, by far, this is one of the best Disney movies I've seen in quite some time. This is now Disney getting back on track and making these kick-ass movies that we all know and love, and hopefully this is the start of a long list of movies that are to come, just as before. Like, we had Aladdin, and we have Toy Story, and Mulan, and all these Disney classics, and then we kind of fell off a little bit with some of these new releases and these remakes and everything. Raya and the Last Dragon really brings back what Disney needed, and there's no music or anything that the characters dance to. Nobody breaks out in songs or anything. It's just a straightforward movie with a clear narrative and clear motivations, and it's awesome. Now, I have to say, I am a little disappointed that this movie is not getting as much press as it seems that it should be getting, but nevertheless, this is still a fantastic movie that anybody should go out of their way to see. One of the things that I really enjoyed about this movie is Marie Tran. If you recognize that name, you may be a big Star Wars fan, because we all remember that she was heavily criticized for her character as Rose in The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. I was not one of those people that criticized her as a person or as an actress portraying this character. It was more so the writing. It was more so the people that created this character and made her kind of meaningless. And people took it upon themselves to really harass Marie Tran, and it's a shame because she's actually very good in this movie. And I'm so glad that she was, because it could really hammer down to the people that dislike her to be like, no, like, I'm not defined by some side role in Star Wars that I had that a lot of you seem to dislike. Like, I genuinely can make good movies, be part of good movies, and I don't have to be held down by the negativity that people bring me. That is a great thing. And that's not to diminish anybody else in this movie either. Everybody's really good in this movie. Sisu, the dragon that she goes on an adventure with to bring back all the gems and restore humanity, very good in the movie. And I have to say that most of the humor in this movie was really good. I genuinely thought that there were some funny things in there. You have some kid humor here and there, obviously. It's a Disney movie. You're going to get some of the cheeky kid-like humor. But for the most part, good humor all around. Even if it doesn't give like a big chuckle out of somebody, you definitely kind of smile and like nod your head, you know. Genuinely some really good writing here with the comedy. A lot of the characters are really well developed. The only one that I kind of have an issue with is the baby that's brought along in the trip, that she kind of feels out of place, because I could have dealt with her for like maybe one or two parts of the movie, but then as she kept going along, I was kind of like, it's kind of losing me, you know, a little bit. It's one of the complaints I have about the characters that they have in this movie. But by far, the best thing about this movie, genuinely, is the rivalry between Raya and Marie. This feels like, for my nerd friends out there, this feels a lot like Vegeta and Goku, right? These are just these rivals that knew each other at a young age, and they just kind of go at it every chance that they get. And they have a storied past, and it's just awesome to see. The fight scenes with them are stellar. Hell, all the fight scenes in this movie are kick-ass. The animation is great. And I've said in the past, I'm not the biggest fan of 3D animation. And it's true. I think a lot of 3D animation is a little bit redundant if not done well. And I personally am a fan of older 2D style hand-drawn stuff. But this movie, this animation, this level of work is fantastic. The only negative I'd probably give this movie is that it's a little exposition heavy. I probably would cut maybe one or two scenes from this movie that has some exposition, but other than that, this movie is fantastic. Raya and the Last Dragon is going to have 4 out of 5 stars. This is genuinely a movie that puts Disney back on track, that gets them back in the gear and gets them back to making these great movies that we had before. Lilo and Stitch, Brother Bear. These type of movies that really evoke emotion out of you and people can really connect, and they're just well made nowadays. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.